What is going on, my fellow YouTubers? Welcome to my first episode of 3D and Tell. These videos are going to consist of 3 segments, where the first segment is going to be about me talking facts about the print itself, where the second segment is going to be me doing a time lapse of the print being printed, and the third segment is going to be me removing the finished print off the printed bed and polishing up, taking out the supports, and showing you the final product. Enjoy. So at first, I really didn't know what to show for my first video. My nephew actually requested me to print him one of his favorite Marvel characters, which is Groot. It's not just the head, I have the other body parts, but for my printer I had to print it in different sections. So I figured this would be a great first video as a tribute for my nephew. Enjoy. Groot is one of the fictional characters in the Marvel series, but most people know him from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2, which is one of my favorites. The name Groot is actually a Dutch word for large, and this honestly fits him perfectly, knowing that one of his abilities is to regenerate or grow. Groot made his first appearance to the people in Tales of Astonish number 13, which is an old Marvel comic book that dates back in the late 1950s. In Tales to Astonish number 13, Groot could actually speak and used his fearlessness to abduct humans and take them back to his planet where they can do experimentations on. I guess everybody has a dark side. Groot's original name was Monarch of Planet X and was deemed an anthropomorphic tree, which came from the Flora colossus species of Planet X, which is considered one of the branch worlds. Vin Diesel actually played Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2. I guess he also liked trees just as much as cars. Yeah, dude. Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy can understand him very well, because Rocket is an enhanced raccoon, thus giving him vastly increased sense of smell, to the point where he actually is able to notice the change in Groot's pheromones, and thus uses that to understand him. I wonder what else he smells. Groot is part of the infamous Guardians of the Galaxy crew, but despite only being able to say I and am and Groot, he's actually the smartest out of them all. This is probably a no-brainer to the most of you, but Groot is actually very defenseless against fire. But he can make this cocoon-like shield that protects him from outside threats. Besides being able to regenerate, Groot actually has the ability to grow his body into any position as well as length, thus making him very useful when it comes to squeezing into small crevices. That comes to a close of the first segment of my first video of 3D and Tell. I know I did say in the second segment that I'm going to show you a time lapse of the print, but unfortunately when I was doing the time lapse of Groot, I left it on overnight and the battery completely just died, and I thought it was charging, but I guess it wasn't. But I promise you the second video is gonna be way much cooler, way much better, so please stay tuned. But before I leave, for the third segment, I am gonna do a time lapse of me prepping it up and finishing it up. So I hope you enjoy. Now it's the time for the detachment and the removal of supports off my 3D printed Groot. I gave myself a little bit of a head start just because there's just so much for it, but I did save some for it just for you guys to watch and the equipments and tools I use to get rid of them. So my go-to support removal tools, as you can call it, is a little screwdriver flathead, a pair of pliers, just regular normal pliers, and a nice little blade. Let's get to it. Usually when I remove supports, I usually just pick off the ones that are just easy to remove. But for harder ones like this, you just gotta go crazy with the screwdrivers and pliers to get rid of them. I don't think there's any easier way. If you know any easier way, just please leave a comment below. I'll gladly appreciate it. So here we go. Okay, now it's finally done. That was a lot more annoying than I anticipated. So now it's time for the final cure of my Groot model. So now it's in the hands of my beautiful girlfriend. She's a great artist. Dope shoes. Now she's just gonna clear it up, put a little shine on it.
I am?
Yeah, right?
How? I have to glue it together, I guess.
Well, I'll do that. You can just do the...
So I'm gonna put a clear coat on it?
Yep.
With what?
I don't know.
Oh.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to the second part of segment 3 of 3D Intel. Now that I have my Groot all finished, polished, and put together, I am going to apply the XTC 3D, which is an epoxy resin, so it cures solid and hard. So if you get this on your workbench or on your clothes, it's not coming off very easily. So I would recommend using a piece of board. I put a thin layer of plastic on it. Not really sure if it's gonna get stuck to it. I haven't used it on plastic. So let's try it out. Alright folks, and that comes to a closing of my first episode of 3D Intel. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's gonna be tons more on the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions on how I did this or the processes of doing this, please leave the comment below. And thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.